Okay, so when you install MPC and you've logged in, the first thing you see is this window, and there's nothing in any of these boxes. Now, I'm gonna give you a quick overview of this interface first, and then go into more detail. So this first area here, this first list box here, this controls your source files and your assets, so your CSS, images, and stuff like that. This middle box controls your URL and your padding, the paths for your URLs. And this box here at the bottom, this last list box here, this controls your variables. Anything you have in your path can be used as a variable. And I'm gonna go into more detail on that and show you that too. Now, to start off with anything in MPC, the first thing you're going to need is a template. There are a number of ways you can bring in a template. One of them, the first one, is by viewing the free templates. Well, I don't think you guys are going to use these. They are not responsive. I don't really recommend using them. Sorry. I will update. I will make a few new templates and update this list. But for now, send them to Larry for updating. But for now, I don't really recommend using this. The other way is where you can bring in a template from a WordPress front end. For instance, if you have a WordPress website, you could take any page from that website. It doesn't have to be the home page, could be any page. And you can click on Grab New and paste that in there. And you give it a folder. You have to specify a folder. Now, because I'm taking this from Moji Templates, I'm going to call the folder MOWG. And I'm going to call the file index.html. And then click on Grab Web File. MPC grabbed it. And now I can right click, add to project, my source, and there is my MOWG, and there's my index. You always want to set this to file extension. If you don't, all your URLs will end with keyword index.html, keyword 2 index.html, keyword 3 index.html. Does that make sense? Do you understand what I mean?
Yes.
Okay. So you always want to tick this box and make it a file extension so it ends with .php, and your pages will read keyword.php, keyword2.php. That's what you want. So I'm going to click add entry and done. And now you can double click and go into the editor. So I'm going to do that again. That might have been a little bit fast. You double click and then select HTML page edit. The text article edit is for when you're doing WordPress. I don't recommend doing WordPress. I don't even train on WordPress. So HTML, and then it opens up the editor, and here's my page. But if I try to do a preview right now, it will break. It will complain because there are a bunch of spin tags in my source file, and MPC doesn't know if it needs to spin this. So you've got to click on source and then right click. This is only when you're bringing in a template from WordPress, which has a lot of these brackets. You see these brackets here? Because MPC is going to try to spin them, and this is not what needs to be spun. What needs to be spun is the content, not your CSS. So what you want to do is right click anywhere and say no spin markers around the entire page. Once you do that and you hit preview, everything will work fine and it won't complain anymore. There's my page. My contact works, you know, people can, everything that works on WordPress will work on this HTML page now.
Okay.
Now, the other part is this. If I want to make this, let's say I want to spin this area, I'm highlighting it and I'm going to source and I'm going to put spin brackets around this, approaches, pipes and design, for instance. I want it to spin between approaches and design. But if I do a preview, you'll see that it didn't spin. And it didn't spin because I have no spin around my entire page. So I'm telling MPC, don't spin anything. So it doesn't. So what you need to do if you want to spin this area is highlight the area, right click, do spin this selected area.
Okay.
And now when I do a preview, one time it says design, respin again, and now it says approaches. So it actually spun. It's spinning now. And that's what you do with the entire text. You know, every time you have a portion you want to spin, you highlight it, you put your spin tags in, you highlight the area, and you put do spin markers around it. And they look like this. These do spin start and do spin end.
Close.
Right. So this is another way. This is how to bring in your you know, a WordPress page. Now with WordPress, there are a few things you need to be aware of. I actually don't much recommend using WordPress at all, but it's possible. I don't use it, but some people do. If whenever you're using WordPress, there are a few things you need to be very, very careful with. One of them is canonical. This thing here. So here, you need to remove this line. You absolutely need to remove this line, because if you don't, your pages will not index. Because you're telling Google, hey, this page is actually this. You know, the page that you built is actually this. So Google ignores the page that you built and only goes and looks at this. Another thing you could do, if you don't want to remove it, you could turn it into your favor by highlighting this, right click, special links, and select current path. And now you can use it, the canonical, if you wanted to. You can do that. It's either you remove it or you make it the current path. Those are your two options. Another one that you want to be really careful with is something, control find, it's OG:URL. This one right here. This is the same thing as canonical. Meta content, property, OG:URL. This is the open graph way of saying canonical. It's the same thing. Again, you absolutely need to remove this, or take this, highlight this, right click, and use current path. That's another way. You can do it there too. There is, am I going too fast for you?
No, it's alright.
No? Okay. There is a third one that you need to be aware of, but unfortunately I don't have that. Let's see, maybe I have it in here. Let me go to a page here, and I'm gonna view the page source. right click, view page source, control find, and this is page question mark. Don't have it here. Let's see. I thought I had that. Or let's look for URL. Oh, URL. Let's see. No, I don't have that on the page. But there is another way where, and this is the WordPress way of showing where the page is. It ends something with, it says URL colon something something and then P question mark and a number. And you'll see a number. That's the WordPress way of referring to the database. Which entry it is in the WordPress database. You need to remove that too. I don't have it here. Some templates have it, some don't. I can't really find. I don't have one of those templates that have it, but that's another thing you need to remove if you have it. So I'm going to save this page for now, and I'm going to show you the preferred way. So I'm going to hit new project. I'm going to show you the preferred way of bringing in an MPC page, a template. Let's see, where is that thing? It is called stuff. Here. My preferred way of using a template is using this template. I use this for everything. I'm going to send you a copy as well. You get a copy if you want to play with it and use it and test it and stuff. And it's a self-contained template. It has its own CSS. It has its own images. It has its own JavaScript. Not that I'm really using those, but it does have them if you need jQuery. And it looks like this. So, what you want to do then is say grab new, and this is actually sitting on my local machine. This is not somewhere else. It's not. I'm not pulling it from the web. This is actually sitting on this machine right here. So what you want to do, I have a zipped copy of this as well, and I'm going to pull in the zipped copy. So what you do is you click on grab new, give it a folder name. I'm going to call it HTML. You can call it project, or you can give it a name to specify this specific project. For instance, you could call it I don't know, estimates, or you could call it whatever you want to call it. I'm just going to call mine HTML for now. And in this case, I'm not going to specify a subfolder like I did here, or a file name. I'm not going to specify a file name because the template has its own file names. So all I'm going to do is put it in this folder, and that's all. So I'm going to grab computer file, browse, and this is my stuff folder here. And I'm going to look for HTML. Here is my zip file. Bring that in. And MPC will import and extract the template. It's going to take a minute because there's a bunch of images there. If you have questions at any time, just stop me and you know, ask me.
Okay.
Okay, this is done. Sorry, there's a big truck outside backing up. Let me close this window. Okay, right, so now we can right click here, add source, add to project, add your source, and there's my HTML folder. So I'm going to click that, and the template that I want to use is the one called sidebar. And once again, I'm going to select file extension, because otherwise all my pages will end with keyword sidebar.html, keyword 2 sidebar.html. So I'm ticking this box, adding the entry, and I'm done. Another thing you want to do when you have a self-contained template is right click and add assets. And you want to select the whole folder. Everything that's in there, you want to add all of that as an asset and click done. Because when you do that and you save your project, all your images, your CSS, your JavaScript, everything will get saved along with your project. So you're making the project portable by doing this. So you always want to do that when you have a self-contained template with its own CSS and images and stuff. Now the next thing, then you can double click HTML page edit. We've got to prepare this template now for production, for use, but it actually looks like this because it's all broken. It looks all broken while it actually should have looked like this. And that's because at this point MPC doesn't know where the assets are. MPC doesn't know where the CSS is, it doesn't know where the images are, it doesn't know anything. So you've got to go to source and then right click and scan 404s. And click scan, and you have three options. The first option is external website. Well, is it an external website? No, it's not an external website. It's just sitting here on my server. Then the next one, is it something in the web root? Do you have a question? Hello? No? You're okay? Okay. The next option is a webroot folder. Well, it's not coming from the webroot either. I have nothing in my webroot. 9vars is just empty. There's nothing there. It's just my training site. So the last option is project folder, and yes, it's actually coming from your project folder, which is called HTML. My project folder is called HTML. So I'm going to click yes on this. So I'm going to click on this project folder. MPC will scan and look for all the paths that are relative. And I'm going to hit fix the padding. And then click visual mode, and boom, there it is. I can do preview now, and MPC fixed it all for me. So my template is ready for content, changing my images, my variables, and everything else. At this point, now, do you let's see, okay, yeah, let's go through all of it. Okay, so at this stage I'm just gonna save this page, and I'm going to close my editor because my template is done, and I'm gonna I'm done with that. The next part that I want to work on is I'm done with that for now. First, the next thing I want to do is set my paths and my variables so I could later use them on the page. And I have a project here called GR. This, yeah. What I do is I look for let's say I've scraped some keywords, a whole list of keywords, and I have all these keywords here. All these keywords here. Now, just by scanning, I can already see something that some words appear over and over and over and over. One of them is the word stock trading. So I'm going to copy that and I'm going to make that a category. So I'm going to say category list and I'm pasting that in there. Stock trading is definitely one of my categories. Another one is Forex trading. That's another category, and I could even add binary trading as a category. What you're trying to achieve is there's two ways you can do MPC and everything in between, but there are two completely different ways of doing MPC. One of them is the sniper approach, and the other one is the shotgun approach. The sniper approach is where you try to line everything up really nicely so that you're going from the broadest to the smallest in your URL. So what I mean by that is you have domain.com/category. Category is very broad. /state/city. State is also very broad, but the city is smaller, and the keyword.php, keyword is the smallest. This would be sniping. An example of this is here. Virginia Moving Company, and search by city. This is the broadest, you know, this is Virginia, everything in Virginia, all the cities in Virginia. Then you go to the city, Abingdon. This is smaller again, so this is Abingdon. All the keywords for Abingdon appear on this page, and then there's a link to the keyword page. This is the smallest part. So you have, I don't have a category here because it's just moving, everything is moving. So you have Virginia, the state, the city, and the keyword. So that is this. That is this. Except I didn't have a category there. But it's the same idea. Sometimes you have a category, sometimes you don't. So it all depends. This is not a rule written in stone. This is just a guideline. This is how you have to do it and no other way. Not at all. You can vary this. Maybe you don't have a category. Maybe you don't have a state. Maybe you don't have a state or a category. And it'll still be sniping because you're going from the broadest to the smallest. The other way is the shotgun way. The shotgun way is a little bit more domain.com/ is a little bit more spammy looking, but it still works extremely well. Let me open up my windows again. It's getting a bit stuffy here. Okay. Now with this, you would have something like keyword 1, or this would be like a keyword dash category dash city. Could be keyword or category city slash keyword dash city dash state abbreviation .php. Here's another way that you can do it. This looks a little bit more spammy, but it also works really well because you have keyword 1 and this would be keyword 2. You could have, let's mark them, you could have this keyword could be a really broad keyword like movers and city, and then residential, movers, city, state abbreviation. Does that make sense to you? Do you understand what I mean? Yeah? Okay.
Yes.
If you don't, it's okay to tell me you don't, because then I'll go over it again. So don't worry. I'll be happy to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry.
So far I understand.
You do. Okay. Okay, good. So I have a category here, and I'm going to make the first thing you want to do with your categories is you want to right click and toggle them as silos. You can toggle as folders or as silos. The result is folders have 1 slash, silos have 2 slashes. In your URL, it will not make a difference because it will always be 1 single slash in your URL. The difference is silos have sitemaps inside of them. So if I make this a silo, there'll be a sitemap in there, there'll be another sitemap in there, and there'll be another sitemap in there. And you want those sitemaps because they help you, they help the bot scroll your page better. Oh, look at that. Money just came in. Nice. This is MPC.
Okay.
A site I built 2 years ago, and every day it's still making me money.
Oh.
New
leads.
Sorry? New leads. Yeah. Here. Yeah. There it is. Every day. Okay.
So the difference between the silos and the other one is silos will make it a sitemap. That's the only difference.
Yes, that's the only difference. Correct. Yes. Silos are silos. When you set a path as a silo, there will be a sitemap in there.
Okay.
Let me give you an example. Sensual Tantra Massage. Here's where I have the structure I just sent you. If you do a quick search here, we have 208,000 pages indexed. And let's go back to there. And go here. I have 4 categories: tantric massage, prostate massage, sensual massage, male enhancement. We're gonna take tantric massage. This is my category, tantric massage. Then this is my state, Alabama. Then this is the city, Alabaster. And then this is the keyword. See how it goes from category, state, city, keyword. And I'm going to show you a quick statistic, how much traffic that thing is getting. Oh wow, this is slow. This is really slow. Okay, there we go. This is how much traffic I'm getting. I had 2,429 visitors yesterday. And this is my traffic, you know, over the 2,000 every day. Hold on just 1 minute. Hello, account speaking. Hello. I have never been in a car accident. Please take me off your list. I'm gonna start cussing you. Oh, these people are so annoying. Every day I get calls that I was in a car accident. Yeah. Okay. So it works. This construct works really well. It works really well. And the other one as well. I couldn't say that one works better than the other. They both work. That's what I can tell you. You could do one site this way and another site this way in the same area for the same niche and try to get more traffic using both methods. You know, that's the best way of using it.
Yes, yes.
You know, so okay, now in your path 2 we have the state. So we have a state list here, and here we would have the city list, and path 4 would be our keyword list. For the state and the cities, I don't know how much US stuff you guys do, but you can right click. Oh, there is one thing I've got to show you here real quick. Whenever you start a project with MPC, click on this project tab here, and you're going go to the settings tab. In the settings there, settings tab, select paths always create lowercase URLs. Try to make your URLs, you know, even if you have something that needs to be, even if you have something uppercase or title case in your padding, it'll force it to be lowercase. And always change this to whatever the name of your project is. So, and the reason I'm saying the name of the project is, or anything that makes sense to you. It really doesn't have any SEO value at all. You could call it my first sitemap, and the other one my second sitemap or something. It has no SEO value. In this case, I'm going to call it stock-sitemap. And the reason is that stock trading is the thing I'm going after, but I also have Forex and binary trading as categories, but I'm going to stick with the biggest one, which is stock. Here's an example of my sitemaps, and oh, what the heck is that? Really? Wow, that was weird. It's this site. This is the site that's see, it's called, oh, let's go one back. See, it's called BMC UK. And if you go to this one, this is BMC UK, and here, this one is called BMC UK2. It has no SEO value whatsoever, but I know exactly what BMC UK is and what BMC UK2 is. So it only makes sense to me, but it has no SEO value. So I'm going to call this stock. You always want to check, never leave it to MPC. Never leave it to that. Because if you do, and then just hit apply settings, and you can close this. If you do, people can see what you've done. And here's an example. I could do in URL colon, and I'm going to say mpc-sitemap.html. Hit return, and there we go. Condos Laval. Okay, we can find this guy. Yep, see? He built MPC, but he didn't know how to. This is a French guy. He's French. So people can find you and reverse engineer and find your clients and everything else. Let's see what this guy does. This guy does... Okay, this guy, it expired. Okay, he took the domain off. Okay, Suncoast. Let's see what this guy does. See, there's his two sitemaps, California and New York. Oh, he does Bitcoin. He does Bitcoin stuff. Okay. So you see, you become a target. If you don't rename your sitemap, you become a target for people who know how to find you. Find MPC sites and your clients if you're doing client work. So you always want to rename it from the settings tab here, from MPC to whatever you're doing. Now for the state list, you can right click and go to geo-targeting. And if you're doing a single state, you can select from UK or US, and you can click on the state name there and select if you want to use the small city list, the medium cities list, or the big cities list. But if you're doing a national or multiple states, you can also right click, go to geo-targeting, and select the states and cities options here. And when you click that, it opens up this dialog box. Now from here, in column 1, you have the states. Well, the states always needs to match your state list. And the cities always needs to match your city list. So I'm selecting these two. I want to make them both silos. And then I can go and select all the states or just 2 states. Let's say I want to do these 2 states. And I want to use the small list. All I have to do then is hit accept. MPC puts in the states, puts in the silos, and matches the right state with the right city. So I don't need to do this. MPC has already done it for me. Now the only thing left for me to fill out is my keyword list. At this point, I will go back to my keyword and I will look, okay, which keywords will make me money? Software. Well, people buying, there's a whole bunch of software offers for stock trading, and people spend hundreds and thousands of dollars on that. So I want that keyword. That's a good one. Could make me good money. Then I'm going to look at other keywords for beginners, classes, school, academy. Well, people who go to school, they know they've got to pay. For beginners, for dummies. So I'm going to go with school. Stock trading schools. Anybody who enrolls in a stock trading class through, or classes, maybe classes is the better one. Here it is, classes. Copy. Stock trading classes. Anybody who enrolls in a stock trading class knows they'll have to pay for that. And I'm gonna make a commission. Okay, here's another one, books. If they're looking for stock trading books, I can sell them Amazon books all day long. So I'm gonna just stick with these 3 keywords for now, for the training. I know these 3 keywords can make me money, so I'm gonna use the 3 of them. At this stage, you could do a blueprint. And this will show you, because your paths are filled out, so you have all your 4 paths filled out. So you could do a blueprint, and that'll show you what your URL is going to look like. You could also do the HTML blueprint, hit that, and it shows you all your paths. Category, state, city, keyword. Category, state, city, keyword. Perfect. This is perfect. You can also click any one of them, click it, and it will build the page on the fly to show you what your page would look like if it was already built. If my page was built, this is what it would look like right now. This portion here is because I don't have any variables in my pages yet. I don't have any variables set up in MPC yet. So, but for now, yes, this is fine. So the next thing I want to do at this stage is I'm going to start setting the variables which are going to be printed on the page. And I know I have a category. I know I have a city. I know I have a state. And I know I have a keyword. And the last one I will do here is the state abbreviation if you're doing US. So I'm going to go back to number 1 here, category. What is the category? Well, the category is this. This is my category. So I'm going to right click in this var1 list box here, right click, and I'm going to set my var formulas. And what you want to select here is path replaces the variable. You want to click this, and I want my category to pull from my category list. So I'm going to add that. And it just did it right there. The cat_list.
Yes.
Then I'm going to hit next. The next thing I have here is a city. Well, I want the city to pull from my city list. So I'm going to add that one there. And I'm going to hit next. This is my state. I want this to pull from my state list. I'm going to add that there. Go to the last one. And I want my keyword to pull from my keyword list. And I'm going to add that. And the last one here is my state abbreviation. That's a function. And it only works in the US for now. This is the function here. And the state abbreviation only ever pulls from the state list. Nothing else. It's always the state list. I'm going to add that. And I'm going to hit close. And at this stage, I'm going to save this. I'm going to save this project, and I want to show you something. I'm going to call this Jerome-Dallas1. And this goes in my shampoo. Where is my Dallas folder? Dallas Calzo. Save it. I've saved the project. And what I want to show you here is, I'm gonna, yep, that's saved. I'm gonna stop this. So I'm gonna do new project. I'm gonna do delete files. I'm gonna delete my emoji. I'm gonna delete my HTML. And I'm gonna delete my backups. So my server just burned down. I don't have a server anymore. I need to put this on another hosting account. And but while I'm offline, I'm not making money. So I need to quickly set this up again. I need to get this going again. All you have to do is click on project, load project. So I'm going to do that again. Click on project. Click the load project button here. Click on browse. I'm gonna go for my, where's my shampoo here. Let's look for Dallas. And here is Jerome. Yep. And I'm gonna load up this project again. I could be doing this on another server right now.
So it can be done in another domain.
Sorry, on another, well, not even another, yeah, could be another domain or another server. Let's say if something happened to a server and the domain and the server are gone, you just change your name servers to a new host, put your domain back up, and load up your MPC project.
can you send me those project later?
Absolutely, yes, 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 of course, of course. You're gonna get a copy of them, yes, of course.
Yes. And the templates.
And the, sorry?
The template that you use, the sidebars.
Yes, absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely, yes, yes, yes. You will definitely get a copy of them, yes, yes. You see, the cool thing with this template is, in fact, watch this. Removal costs, you know, this page. I'm just going to open up a few websites to show you something. Here's one. Here's another one. And here's another one. And sitemap. Go there, go there, there. Okay. So here you have this page here. The only difference is that here I moved this, I took the sidebar off, and I'm sorry I did. I should have left it because it's so useful for you know, adding additional stuff. Here's another one, you know, like ads and stuff like that. But this page and this page and this page here, this is brown, this is more black, and the other one I removed the sidebar. This one is more orange. See, this one is more orange. They are all the exact same template. They don't really look alike. This one, it's the exact same template. The only thing is I changed the colors and I changed the images, and it makes it look completely different, you know. So you can edit this template any way you like. That's what I like about it. It's so easy to use. So easy to use. You can do anything you want with it. And it doesn't have a lot of JavaScript and jQueries and all that other stuff going on that slows down your pages. The HTML is really clean, and it's responsive and everything else. So I really like using it. Yeah?
The template can be edited in MPC.
Sorry?
The template
can be edited in, you can edit it in MPC or any tool that you prefer.
Okay.
Yeah, you can pull it into, as long as you export the HTML, you can use it, you know, you can edit it with anything you want, you know, I don't know, Dreamweaver or Coffee Cup or Notepad++ even. I do a lot of my stuff in Notepad++.
Okay.
Or Sublime Text. That's another great one. I like this one a lot. Sublime Text. Really fantastic HTML editor. This one. Let me send you this one. Do you do a lot of HTML yourself?
No.
No, not really. Okay, but maybe your guys, maybe your guys can have a look at it, or you can send it to Dallas to have a look. But so yeah, you can edit it with anything. At this stage, I'm done with my padding and my variables. So what's left is for me to edit my source file. Just hold on 1 second. Oh, okay. Just quick second here. Okay. Let's first remove this. I'm highlighting it and then going to source. And then we don't have this is an old project, so it says GeoTarget. Right now it's city state, so I'm gonna right click and hit replace, and then I'm gonna take out GeoTarget and I'm gonna replace that with city : T, and I like to spin my state and my state abbreviation. So I'm gonna put in there ## state : T # state abbreviation : U. There is a difference between these two. I'm going to show you in a minute. So I'm first going to replace all. It replaced it in both places. I'm going to close. Okay. MPC has parameters you can pass to any variable. The first parameter is :L. So whatever your variable is, let's say your variable is city. Oops. City. If you don't do anything to this, MPC will put this word in there: Tallahassee, Tampa, Valrico, Venice, West Palm Beach, Winter Park. Now you can pass a variable to MPC, and let's take for instance Santa Clara in California. If you put this in your city or in any variable, it would read Santa Clara, because it says :L, which means make it lowercase. So
Okay.
you know, if I had this here, I would be telling MPC make the name lowercase. You can also put a :T, which would make it Santa Clara, like that, and makes it title case. You can also use :U, which would make it uppercase Santa Clara, like that. And you can also pass a fourth variable, which is the :H, and MPC would know to make that, Santa Clara, would make it a hyperlink. MPC would treat it as a hyperlink in that case.
Okay.
So that's why I did the : I'm just trying to explain why I did keyword :T, city : T. I want the city to be title case. I want the state name to be title case, but I want the state abbreviation to be uppercase.
You can also, for example, :T then :H. It can be, or it will not.
Sorry?
For example, you will put city #city :T then :H.
No, that will not work.
Oh, right.
Yes, you can only use one parameter at a time.
Okay.
One parameter at a time. That's why you want to keep everything consistent and make sure, let's say if I had this in there, you want to right click and set the letter case, everything to lowercase. If you paste it in softwares, classes and books, and do a blueprint. Oh, I'm already forcing it. That's because I'm forcing it here. to
the
be
settings.
always create lowercase. If I didn't have that, and I apply that, and I do a blueprint now, see how it says, that's ugly, that's not nice in a URL.
Oh, yes. It will not.
Yeah, if I do the blueprint, you'll see. See how it, see classes, see book, you know, that's not really nice looking in a URL. So you want to make it, sorry?
Yes, it's good.
Yeah, okay. So first we want to make sure everything is lowercase, and we also want to make it letter case, lowercase here. Because any formatting that you need, you can do on the page itself. You know, I don't have something called qualifier here, so I'm gonna remove this. Replace qualifier with nothing, and replace that. Okay. Right, okay, now for the title of the page. We're starting from the top down. I'm going to remove this title, and we're going to make a title for the page. Now, I want the title to read right, as well as possible. I want it to read, like, let's see what my variables are here. I want to read category, keyword, city, state. So I wanted to read category, I wanted to read stock trading softwares, Miami, Florida. Stock trading classes, Miami, Florida. Stock trading books, Miami, Florida. So I wanted to read, oh, another invoice. Ah, nice, man. So I wanted to read stock trading. So I wanted to read category. You can just select, these are the variables that you set in MPC. They become available here. So I wanted to read title case, category, space, keyword, space, city, space, and I want to use my state abbreviation here. I'm going to make it uppercase, paste it in. See how MPC changed it to a U? So you don't have to write it by hand. You can just click by using the variables already available in MPC, and you make them title case, uppercase, lowercase, or a hyperlink. Then I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to make this my H1 tag as well. Control copy. And this is my H1. I'm going to paste this in here. And here I'm actually going to spin it. So I'm going to put a bracket there. Put a pipe. And this time I want to use the state name full, but I want to make it title case, so state, and I end my bracket. So the state abbreviation is uppercase, and the state name is title case. So let's have a look at what the page would look like. Stock trading softwares, Alabaster AL. When you respin it, stock trading softwares, Alabaster, Alabama. So one time it'll say the full state name, one time it'll use the state abbreviation. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to save this page. And I'm going to set up now my minimal interlinking for the page. The minimal interlinking is previous page, next page, and a link to the root sitemap. That is the minimal type of interlinking you need for the Google bots to be able to index your pages quickly and as efficiently as possible. So I'm going to select this area here and use this as my navigation. I also have a main navigation here, which would tie into the root of my site, but I also have another nav bar here that would interlink my MPC pages with each other. So I'm selecting About Us, and I don't really need this much, so I'm gonna remove About Us. I don't need that. I don't need this portion here, and I don't need this portion here, and I don't really need this portion here either. I'm gonna put right in the middle here, I'm gonna type in previous. I'm gonna type in here main, oops, right in the middle there, main. And I'm gonna type right in the middle there, next. So now I have three pieces of text: previous page, root sitemap, next page. You highlight previous, or whatever it is you want to link, you highlight it, right click, and just select previous URL link, and MPC will make it a link for you to the previous page. Whatever the previous page is, MPC will know what it is and link to it. Then we're going to take the main, right click, and that one I want to link to my root sitemap, which is the stock-sitemap.html that we set up, remember?
Yes.
This would link to this here. It would link to that.
Okay.
Then you have the next link, the next text, right click, next URL link, and your minimal interlinking is set up. So I'm going to save this, and I'm going to continue editing for now, but I'm also going to save this template because we made some good changes on it. Select this and override it. Yes. Do you have any questions for me, Jerome?
No, so far.
Okay. Okay, so the next step would be my content. Now, you don't really have to do this the way I'm doing it, but Dallas seems to like it, and and so do I, but a lot of people don't, and it still works fine. It still works fine, but this is how I make my content. Let's look for something in stock trading. So I'm gonna say site : ezinearticles.com stock trading. And okay, okay, I'm just gonna grab something really. I usually have my content written, but I'm just doing this to show you really quick how I do it. So once I have my content that's been written, I will grab. Let's just grab this. I'm not gonna do the whole thing, just because it would take way too long to do the whole thing in a training. But I'm gonna show you real quick how I do my content. Okay. Okay, so this is the first sentence. In today's competitive world, every individual looks forward to make some. Okay. Most of us are trying our best to be financially independent. Which means as we all try to achieve our dream lifestyle. Okay, and then I may have in today's competitive in today's okay, I could say who wouldn't want to reach their who wouldn't want to reach financial independence? Who wouldn't want to reach that? Wow, this is a tough one. I'm reaching a blank here. But anyway, what I would do is this. I would write the same sentence 2 or 3 times. I'm going to keep it at 2. The original and an additional. I would write at least one more time this same sentence. It's not the same words, but it has the same meaning though. You know, these two sentences, they basically have the same meanings. You know, this one talks about dream lifestyle. This talks about just dreams, desires and dreams. But they basically say the same thing. Now, normally I have a third one there. But in this case, to keep it shorter, and instead of, you know, I'm drawing a blank right now with this, I'm keeping it to 2. But I would have a third in there, especially in the first and the last paragraph of your pages. You want to have 3. The other ones, the other paragraphs on your page, you don't really need to or are forced to, but in your first paragraph, you want to make the first paragraph and the last paragraph as unique as possible. So I would grab them once I have 3. This would be my first paragraph, but once you have 3, you would grab them, put them in a tool, and start spinning. Most of us, the majority of us, many of us, many people, almost everyone, a lot of people are trying our best. No, it says our best. Most people, a lot of us, some of us, we all are trying our best. That'll work. Are trying. Let's see. Try your best. Are attempting our best. That doesn't really sound right. Try. Let's see. We all try out. Check. Look at. Strive. Our best. Our okay. No, nothing there. To be, to become, to end up being financially independent. That's a good one. Financially, economically independent, monetarily independent, fiscally independent. Yep, independent. Independent, autonomous, fiscally autonomous, economically autonomous. That may work. Free from, not self-employed. Yeah, that'll work. Independent. Self-sufficient. That'll work too. Really well. Financially self-governing. That's a good one. As we all try to achieve our dream lives. As, since, because, we all, since, seeing that we all try to achieve our dream lifestyle. Yeah, we all. Let's see, we all, seeing that all of us, most of us, many of us, every one of us, the majority of us, try to, attempt to, make an effort to, aim to, seek to, make an attempt to achieve, accomplish, attain, realize, reach, or dream lifestyle, or perfect fantasy. Well, I wouldn't use fantasy, I would use vision, ideal, or future, reach, or desired. There's a good one. Or preferred. That's enough. Lifestyle, way of life, lifestyle, way of living, standard of living, chosen lifestyle. That's it. Then I'm gonna spin this one. In today's, let's see, in the current, in the present, in the modern, competitive world, cutthroat world, demanding, yeah, that's enough. World, environment would work. Marketplace would be a good one. Demanding modern world would work. Every individual, each and every single individual, just about every single individual person, man or woman, looks forward. Let's see, looks forward. Okay, nothing for that. Looks forward. Looks forward. Looks forward. Okay, let's leave that. Looks ahead. Looks into the future. Oh wow, who is this now? Hello, Carl speaking. Speaking, but I can't really talk now. I have a client on the phone. What is this about? Oh, okay. Okay, no problem. All right, cheers. Okay, bye, bye. Okay, looks forward ahead into the future. To make, to generate, to create, to earn yeah, some money. Let's see, some money, some cash, some funds, some profit, so that they can be financially independent, so that to ensure, in order that they can be, let's look, they may become financially independent, financially, economically, monetarily, fiscally independent, self-governing, self-sufficient, that's enough, to fulfill, to meet, to satisfy, in order to meet their desires, their wants, their preferences, their demands, their intents, and dreams. And well, okay, I could take desires out of here, their aspirations, their ambitions, and take this out of here. You don't want to have the same spin in both places. So I have desires there, so I took it out of here. Dreams, aspirations, intents, ambitions. Okay, now I have two spun sentences that basically say the same thing. At this stage, what I do is I go to here, and you can use this as well, of course. Emoji templates, go to resources, and go to multi-level spinner. Click that. And what I do is I copy these two, Control A, Control C, I'm copying both. I'm throwing them in there, and there's two reasons. This thing checks for spelling errors. So if I had a spelling error there, see, preferred, see, there's 3 R's there. I had a spelling error there. So I'm going to right click, fix that, right click, fix that. And I have no more spelling errors. And then what I do after is I click here, convert to Spintax. And it makes one big spin off of my 2 sentences. I'm going to hit select all, copy that. And that's what I'm going to paste as my first sentence. All this text here, I'm going to save this page because I know this is decent content. So this is my first sentence, but when you do a preview, it'll only show one of them at a time, and it always reads well. See, here is 2 lines. Sometimes it's longer, sometimes it's shorter. Here it's 1.5 lines. The other one was just 1 line and a bit. And again, it's longer. So it changes every single time. And when you do that with a whole lot of text, your article is going to read that little bit different every single time. That's why I do it. Some people paste the same article with minor spinning or no spinning at all, and all they do is they change the variables. That will work as well for now. I don't know how long it's gonna last, and I like to be prepared. I don't want to have to come back in 2 years and redo every single site that I've built over 2 years. That would be crazy. So I do this so that even if Google changes the rules, at least I have a good chance of passing a manual review. An example is here, where somebody decided to, it's actually here. Somebody decided to report one of my websites, and I passed a manual review by Google. I passed the manual review because my content was written like this. So it looked, they reported me as having malware. And somebody from Google went in, checked my site, and said, no, this is fine. Looked at my pages, and I passed it. So that's why I do this. That's why I do this heavy spinning. Now, you don't need to do it with every single line of text, but you absolutely want to do it in your first paragraph and your last paragraph. I would suggest on your pages to have around a minimum of 800 words minimum, and more if you can, to 1,000, 1,200 words.
Okay.
Sites with a lot of content tend to do better. I have some sites that have 200 words and they rank. They absolutely rank. But those the keywords I have there have extremely little competition. It's type of keyword that nobody goes after in the UK, for instance. This is just so if you came back and you said, hey, but wait a minute, he only has 200 words here. So why is he saying I need 1,000 words? Well, let's see how many words I have here. I have 181 words here. Not even 200. And it still ranks. Why? Because I have no competition here. You see, I have no competition. I'm the only page that talks about this. Domestic removal costs Abingdon. And there's a good chance, there I am, number 2, number 3, and number 4, and number 5. You see, I have very little competition, so I win it. But in the US, that will not be the case, you know?
Yes.
So you want more content, and I imagine Australia as well. So you will need more content. And believe me, if I had more content there, I would have probably have the number 1 spot here. I would have probably made it made the number 1 spot there. That's the content. We spoke about interlinking, and let's see, what's left here is your images. We've got to go through Yelp listing, YouTube, dynamic include, cloak redirect. Okay, there's a few things I need to go with in the editor. I want to leave that until next time. What I want to show you first, let me save this page and save the project. What I want to show you first, and I'm going to save this. I want to go back to oh, hold on just 1 second. They just delivered the package here for me. Just a second.
Okay. Okay.
I'm back.
Okay.
What I want to go over first before I go deeper into the editor and the options itself is I'm going to start a new project, and I want to show you another way of bringing in a source file. Let's say I have a source file here and I want to use this page for my MPC. It is possible, and this is not WordPress, this is HTML. So I'm going to go to grab new, paste in the URL, and this time I'm going to call it Actos, and I'm going to call it index.html. Grab the file, continue, right click, add sources. There's my Actos folder, there's my index. I always want to make this a file extension. Add the entry. Sorry? Did you say something, Jerome? Jerome?
No.
Oh, okay. Just hit done, and
Yeah,
there's my file. Double click, HTML page edit, and again it looks broken because MPC doesn't know where the CSS or anything lives. I'm gonna go to source. This is my domain, copy that. So I'm gonna do right click and say scan, and then in this case I have to select external website. MPC scans it and says, okay, all these URLs here are relative, so I'm going to paste that in. You don't even need the HTTP, and just hit fix padding. So this is an external website now option, so fix padding, go to visual mode, and boom, I can do a preview now, and there's my MPC page. Of course, as some part, the background image, when you're grabbing somebody else's page, if you like a page that you want to use, try to grab everything with it. So you would have to go to the website, inspect the elements, and try to find out where there's the image. So try to grab their images and everything else and put it on your own server. You don't want to link out to other people. I just wanted to show you, in case you find it a really cool template. I do it all the time. I find a website and I say, oh wow, that is a cool looking website, I want that page. And I go and I grab it. And then I go and I grab their background images, I grab their CSS, I grab their JavaScript if I need it, and I grab anything else that I need for the template to work, and I use it for myself. So I just wanted to show you this as a possibility. So here is my page, and it would look, except for the background image, it looks exactly the same as the original. And putting in the background that's not a big deal either. That's pretty easy to do. Do you have any questions for me?
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay. Okay. New project. Let's see, what else can I show you here at the front end to fit into this part of the training? I guess we've covered it. The first part anyway. In the second part, I want to go over some your options in the editor. So all the buttons and everything else that is available. But I'm gonna keep it up to here for now, because we've practically covered part 1.
Okay.
Yeah? So I'm gonna stop recording here and stop